My name is Yasna. I was born in Eritrea. I lived in a small village with my mother and 2 sisters. Our house was small. It had only 2 rooms. We had no electricity at night. We used candles to see. Our house was made of mud and straw. It had no bathroom. It had no kitchen. We cooked outside on firewood. There was no clean water in our home. Every morning, I walked 1 hour to get water from the well. The water was not always safe, but we had no other choice. My father worked in the fields. He made very little money. Sometimes there was no food for dinner. We ate bread and tea, or just porridge made with water and flour. My mother stayed home and made baskets, but she was paid very little for her work. Every day I walked 2 hours to school. The sun was hot. The road was long. But I loved school. I loved books. I loved to read. I wanted to be a teacher one day. But in my country, life was not free. In Eritrea, dreams are not easy. The government controls everything. You cannot say what you think. If you do, you can go to jail, even if you are a child. Girls had no voice. We could not speak freely. We could not choose our life. The government was very strict. Many young people were taken to the army. Every home is full of fear. People are scared. Soldiers can come at any time. No one feels safe. Everyone is waiting, worried, afraid. In my country, boys and girls must go to the army. The government was very strict. It made many hard rules. Many young people were taken to the army. They had no choice. They were forced to go. They had to leave their homes and families. Some were only 16. Some never came back. They must stay in the army for years, sometimes forever. Soldiers came to our village. They walked through the streets. They knocked on doors. They were looking for young men. They wanted to take new people to the army. Everyone was scared. No one felt safe. They did not ask. They just took. One day, they came for me. I was only 17. They said, "You must join the army." I said, "No, I want to study." But they did not care. They shouted. They threatened me. They say it is for national service. But it is not service. It is like prison. They make you work, build, cook, carry. They pay very little. They don't let you leave. That night, I did not sleep. I was shaking. I was afraid. My mother cried. She said, "Run, my daughter. You must leave." She hugged me very tight. She said, "Don't look back. Just go." I walked away in the dark. The night was quiet. I looked up at the stars. They were bright and far. I did not know where I was going. But I knew I could not stay. I walked for many days. I walked through mountains. I walked through dust. The roads were dry. My feet were tired. My body hurt. The sun was strong. My feet were tired. I slept under trees. I ate little food. But I kept walking. I had no choice. I had to keep going. After 5 days, I crossed the border into Sudan. I was scared. I was alone. But I told myself, "Be strong, Yasna. Just a little more." In Sudan, I met other people like me. Some were from Ethiopia. Some were from Somalia. We all came from different places. We had different names, but the same pain. We all wanted to go to Europe. We all wanted a safe life. I stayed in a small room with 5 women. The room had only one thin mat. There was no bed, no blanket, no pillow. The room had a bad smell. It was hard to breathe sometimes. The water was dirty. They gave us very little food, just a small amount each day. We were always hungry. We were always thirsty. We talked to each other. Each person talked about their pain and why they ran away. Everyone had a story. Some ran because of war. Some people ran away because of government pressure. The government made life hard. There were too many rules, too much control. People were not free. We gave each other hope. We told each other to stay strong. We held each other. But in that dark night, we cried. We missed our family. One day, a man came. We did not know him. We had never seen him before. He said he could take us to Libya. He said from there we could go to Europe. He said we must pay $500. We were scared, but we had hope. We took all the money we had. We gave the money to him. We hoped he was telling the truth. The trip to Libya was terrible. We sat in a truck with many people. Men, women, even babies. It was hot. There was no air. We could not move. We could not breathe. Some people fainted. Some begged for water, but the driver said nothing. He only drove, fast, cold, silent. When we reached Libya, I thought it would be better. But Libya was worse. There was no law, no safety. We were locked in Asmal House. Men stood outside with guns. They gave us little food, sometimes no food. The water tasted bad. We were hungry, sick, and dirty. Every day, they took some of the women with them. The women were crying as they were taken away. They looked at the others with sad, begging eyes. With their eyes, they were asking for help, but no one was brave enough to stop them. Everyone was too afraid to say or do anything. Those women never came back. We never saw them again. They were gone forever. I prayed every night, "God, please help me. Don't let me die here." One night they said, "Tomorrow you will go by boat." My heart jumped. I was scared, but I had hope. The night was cold and dark. The men said, "It is time." We walked to the beach in silence. No one talked. No one smiled. When I saw the boat, I felt fear. It was small, too small. It looked old. It looked weak. I thought, can this boat carry all of us? There were more than 100 people. Children, mothers, young men, all with small bags, all with tired eyes. We held each other. We prayed. The men shouted, "Get in, hurry." We stepped into the boat one by one. The boat moved side to side. I sat near the back. Water touched my feet. There were no life jackets, no lights, only the moon, only the waves. The boat started to move. The sea was big, very big. Soon we could not see land, only water, endless water. At first, the sea was calm. Some people slept. Some people cried. Some sang to their babies. I closed my eyes and prayed. But then, the wind came. The waves got high. The boat went up and down. The waves began to rise. Water came in. People screamed. A child fell into the sea. His mother screamed his name. She jumped after him. We never saw them again. The motor stopped. The boat shook. We held hands. We cried. We were in the middle of the sea. No motor, no control, only wind, only water. Another wave came, bigger than before. The boat almost turned over. The boat broke. The wood split apart. We all fell into the sea. Some people grabbed broken pieces of wood. Some people tried to swim. Some just sank. They went under. I held on to the side of the broken boat. My arms were tired. My legs were cold. I shouted, "Help!" But the sea was too loud. The sea was louder than my voice. The water was black, dark, and scary. I thought, this is the end. I'm going to die. At that moment, I was thinking of my mother. I felt in my heart that I would never see her again. Then I saw a light. It was far away, but it was coming closer. A ship, a real ship. Voices shouted in a language I didn't know. Flashlights moved around. People threw ropes. Strong hands pulled people out of the water. One man grabbed my arm. He said, "You are safe. You are okay." Then, because of the cold and tiredness, I passed out. When I opened my eyes, I was on the rescue ship. I was lying on the floor. There was a blanket over me. A woman sat beside me. She whispered, "You're alive." I looked around. There were not many people. Too many were lost. Too many were taken by the sea. That night, I could not sleep. I looked up at the sky and whispered, "Why me? Why am I still here?" I didn't know the answer. But I knew one thing. I had to live for those who could not. They asked my name. I said, "Yasna." They said, "You are so strong." But my heart was broken. I had lost so much. I had no family, no home, only a new life, a second chance. They brought me to Italy. I did not know the language. I did not know anyone. Everything was new. Everything was strange. They gave me a small room in a refugee center. There were many people from many countries. Some were from Africa, some from the Middle East. We all had different stories, but the same pain. The bed was small, the blanket was thin, but I felt lucky. I was alive. The first days were very hard. I cried every night. I missed my mother and father. I missed my sisters. I looked at the window and whispered, "Where are you now?" People spoke Italian. I didn't understand anything. At the market, at the doctor, in the street, I was lost and confused. I smiled, but inside I was afraid. Then one day, a woman at the center said, "There is a school. You can learn Italian." I said, "Yes." At school, I sat with other women. We all tried to say words. We laughed when we made mistakes. We helped each other. My teacher was kind. She said, "You are strong. Jasna, you can do this." Her words gave me hope. I started to write. I started to read. Then I found a small job. I cleaned houses. It was not easy, but I worked with pride. Now I live in a small apartment. I go to school in the morning. I work in the evening. I speak Italian. I learn English too. Sometimes I still cry. But now I have dreams. I want to be a teacher again. I want to help girls like me. I look in the mirror and say, "Jasna, you survived. You are alive. You are hero." Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this story and it helped you, even a little bit with learning English, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to see the next videos. I'm looking forward to your lovely comments. I love you all. See you in the next video.